Hey guys, welcome back. Today I will be decluttering my primer collection. This is a combination of face primers and eye primers. And there's a couple of items in here like this one. This is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Instant Eye Fix. It's an under eye treatment, but it's also considered like an under eye primer. So all of the primers that I have / use are right here. So let's get to decluttering. If you've missed it, I have already decluttered foundations and concealers. I will link those videos down below. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, everything on this side is for the face, and these are all of my eye primers. So let's go ahead and start with eye primers. I'm going to go ahead and keep the NYX eyeshadow base in skin tone, and this one is in white. I love the NYX eyeshadow bases. These are amazing. The eyeshadow base in skin tone is my absolute holy grail #1. So I'm definitely keeping these. Okay, next up is the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. I got this with my Lorac Pro palette, I believe. And I use it here and there. It's not my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and give this to my sister because I know she'll actually use it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this one on. It's not a bad primer. I just know personally I'll never repurchase it, and I might as well let my sister get use out of it. Okay, next up I have the Maybelline eye primer. So I actually have 3 of them. This one is the Prime and Smooth, this one is the Prime and Matte, and this one is the Prime and Illuminate. I'm going to go ahead and keep these 2. I really, really like them. I'm going to go ahead and give this one away because I don't use it, and it's been in this package, and I'm sure someone else would get better use out of it. This is actually a face primer that it was like a sample I got from Clinique, and it's super old, so I'm going to toss this. This is my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. I highly recommend that you have a paint pot in your collection. It is going to be some of the best money you've ever spent. And the thing is, this one is so amazing that I wouldn't repurchase any other high-end eye primer other than this one. So love this stuff. Let's see. I have the Thank Me Later eyeshadow primer. This one's by Elizabeth Mott. I got it in an Ipsy bag and I do really like it, so I'm going to keep this. And I love having these little eye primers, these little travel size, sample size, because they're just so convenient for traveling or keeping a little one in your makeup bag. So I'm going to keep this one. And I'm going to keep the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. This is like, I believe, the original one. I do really like it, but the MAC Paint Pot is like my #1. But I'm going to keep this one because I want to finish it. But I'm going to go ahead and pass the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I don't even think I've used this one, so I want to give it a better home. And the same with this little Benefit Air Patrol. I got it in, I think it was like a free gift with purchase at Ulta, but I haven't used it, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this. And the same with these. These are the Urban Decay primer potions, and they're the little samples. And I kept them last time from my last decluttering series because in my mind I was like, oh, I'll use these for traveling. And I have used some, but I always reach for my little teeny tiny samples like these whenever I'm traveling. This is what I'm going to put in my makeup bag, so I'm going to go ahead and give these away. Alrighty, so all of those were my eye primers. Let's see, these are for the face, but they're actually for the under eye, and this is the Benefit Puff Off, and this is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Instant Eye Fix Under Eye Treatment. Now, in essence, these are like the same product. I don't know how much the Benefit one is. I would say $20 range, $20 to $24, and the Hard Candy was probably $9, and I love them. I love them both. I would probably say I love the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Eye Treatment better that I wouldn't repurchase the Puff Off. I'm gonna keep both of them. I'm gonna finish up the Puff Off, but when I'm done with it, I won't repurchase it because I love the hard candy one so much that I would definitely repurchase the hard candy under eye treatment over and over again. And if you don't know what these are for, these are little like under eye treatments, primers before you put on your concealer. They are definitely going to depuff your under eye, help brighten it, and it's really just going to prime and just add extra moisture for that under eye area. I highly recommend that if you want to add this to your makeup routine, it's definitely an added benefit. It's not a must-have, but I definitely see such a difference when I use this under my concealer than when I don't. So keeping these. Alrighty, let's see. This is the NYX First Base Primer Spray. I enjoy it. I don't know if I would repurchase it again, but I'm definitely going to keep it and use it up. Let's see. This is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi. This is my only like luminous primer that I own. I don't use it all the time, but I do use it from time to time. I do really like it. If you have a dry skin, I know you will love it. If you have oily skin, you may want to put this in the areas that you're not oily. For example, if I'm going to use it, I'm not going to put it on my nose because my nose is super oily. I'll put something more mattifying on my nose, but then I'll put this everywhere else. That's how I wear it. But I do definitely like it, so I'm gonna keep it. Let's see, the Too Faced Hangover RX. This isn't a mattifying primer as well. It's a replenishing face primer. And let's see, it has coconut water, probiotic-based ingredients, and skin revivers. It's silicone-free. It, to me, is more of a moisturizer. I still use a face primer over this. I'm not going to simply just use this on its own. I do really like it, especially for the areas where I have dry patches. I do have oily to combo skin, so when I'm using a product like this, I definitely want to add a mattifying primer in my T-zone and then just add this everywhere else. But this definitely adds so much moisture to your face. Would I repurchase it again? I do not know. I still have quite a bit to get through, and I think whenever I really get through this product, that's when I'll know, like, oh my goodness, I wish I had my Hangover RX. But at this point, I do really like it. I'm going to continue to use it. But my skin is so oily that I couldn't use products like this just by itself. Okay, so moving on, let's go ahead and tackle the Maybelline Baby Skin. The Maybelline Baby Skin was my first primer ever to use. I love it. It just brings me joy. It really does. I love this primer. Literally baby skin. That's what you're going to get. However, if you do have oily skin, this isn't the best primer for you to use. Again, I would recommend putting a mattifying primer on the areas that you are more oily and then tapping this into the areas where you have pores. You can definitely layer up primers, which is what I do, but I love the baby skin. Like, if you want to look flawless, if you want to fill in pores, this is the primer for you. So I'm keeping these. Okay, so all the primers that I have left are basically mattifying primers. Maybe not this Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Blur and Smooth. It doesn't have a very mattifying finish to it, a teeny tiny bit. They were really getting away with that this primer blurs and smooths almost like a silicone based primer, but it really doesn't. It almost smells like glue. It does blur a little bit, but nothing too significant. I really don't reach for this anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on. And let's see what we're left with. We are left with the NYX Angel Veil, the Milani Prime and Shield, the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil-Free Pore Minimizing Primer, the No. 7 Beautifully Matte, the Benefit The Professional Matte Rescue. I also have a little sample or the little trial size of the regular Benefit Professional, which is in my makeup bag. Absolutely love it. And this is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. So to make things super simple, I'm keeping all of these primers. These are my matte go-to primers. I will say the Benefit Professional Matte Rescue, it's not my number one. I reach for it the least. I don't love it as much as the regular Professional, and when I get through it, I highly doubt that I'll repurchase it. It definitely has a more moisturizing effect to it with the added bonus of keeping you matte. I don't feel like it keeps me matte any longer than these do, and it has a pretty price tag attached to it. So this one I really don't recommend. Like if you are oily to combo or just oily in general, the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, this one right here will be your best friend. It is going to keep you matte. It's going to fill in your pores as well. And I think that's why I love this one so much. So I absolutely love this one. And the same with the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. Oh my goodness. I don't think that they're selling this as a matte primer. Oh my goodness. I need to get another one ASAP. I don't think they're selling this one with like a matte concept to it. It definitely keeps me matte, not as matte as this and not for as long, but it blurs imperfections like nobody's business. And the difference between like the Tarte primer and the baby skin is going to slip and slide on your face a little bit throughout the day. It's not going to last as long as something like this. This one comes with a big price tag attached to it, but I promise you it is worth every cent. I love this one so much. The number 7 Beautifully Matte, it had sat in my makeup collection for a while before I actually started using it, but I love it so much. The Milani Prime Shield, I'm almost done with it. This is the mattifying and pore minimizing one. I probably won't buy it again. I do really like it. I'm going to continue to use it up. It's just, I want to say it's like $12, and I would rather spend a little bit more and get something like the Smashbox that I know it's going to really mattify and really fill in the pores. I feel like the Milani one, it does just a generic version of that. Does it mattify? Yes. Does it fill in your pores? Yes. But just not as good. And then next we have the NYX Angel Veil. Oh my goodness. This is like having baby skin. Even though this one is baby skin, this one is so silicone based. This one here is just, and it even says on here, skin perfecting. It is going to smooth out your face. It actually reminds me a lot of the Tarte primer, but so much like smoother and creamier. Oh, you definitely need to try this for sure. So again, I'm keeping all of these. Alrighty, so here is a little overview of everything that I'm keeping and everything that I'm getting rid of. I'm actually keeping 20 primers with the mixture of face and eye primers, and I'm getting rid of 5 primers and some little samples. Not the most amazing job, but I will say primers aren't something that I just typically buy. I don't like go into the store and like, ooh, let me try a new primer out today. Primers really have to speak to me. They really have to be a mattifying primer for me to be interested. So everything that I'm keeping, I really do love and enjoy, and just decluttering a little bit. Alrighty, well thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know in the comments down below, what is your absolute favorite face primer? I would love to know. Especially if you have a favorite face primer that is mattifying that you love that I don't already use, I would love to try it out. So let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. If you are not new, thank you so much for coming back and spending some of your time with me. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!